I have a game for you.
Do you?
I do. And it's called Where There's a Name, There's a Claim.
Is he a Swedish Dude Dane, or it's really been his shame? Well, let's find out in our silly game. Where there's a name, there's a claim.
The name doesn't really apply, but that's quite good because this game is about nicknames. So nicknames don't always apply, do they?
Don't.
They don't. Sometimes they're just random. So
they are. In fact, we made a nickname up for one of the players.
Did you?
On our team at the tournament.
Ooh, that could be one of the questions. You don't know.
Well,
I hope not, though.
They sold like portions of chips at the venue, or poms as they call them in Denmark.
Yeah.
And you could get little poms.
Yeah.
Or whatever big poms.
Grand poms.
So
Poms grand.
Two of our number were in the queuing up to buy some little poms.
Yeah.
And one said to the other, "I'm going to call you Little Poms from now on." And now that's a nickname.
And it's stuck. Little Poms. Good. And that is how so many nicknames come about, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, that bloke, he once had a pie, so Pie Man, that's his name now. Some of these names will be like that. Some will be a little bit more, like they make a little bit more sense.
Oh, yeah.
So, question 1. Joel Prisbilla, a basketball player, was named what, or nicknamed what, throughout his career? Was it A, the Vanilla Gorilla? Was it B, the Manila Chinchilla? Or is it C, Attila the Thriller?
Where's he from?
America.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird name to have as an American, isn't it? Prisbilla. But I assume his parents are from somewhere European, I'd imagine. Eastern Europe. Slovenia, maybe?
When did he play? What sort of era?
Recently. So he was most notably known as playing for the Portland Trail Blazers from 2004 to 2011.
What was the first one?
The Vanilla Gorilla. I can tell you, he was a 7'1" centre, if that helps all.
Big old lad.
Big boy.
7'1".
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Is he black?
No, he's a white guy.
Okay. If he was black,
yeah,
probably couldn't get away with
out. Yeah. You can't call him that, especially not in this day and age.
So to call him the Vanilla Gorilla. Is that PC?
I don't know.
Nothing's PC anymore.
Not really, no. But this was a little bit back in the day, before the sort of PC brigade really came along.
Do you like Vanilla Gorilla for Big White Man?
Yeah. It's a great nickname, isn't it? But is it one that I've made up? Or is it real?
And there was the Manila Chinchilla.
Yep.
Is he from the Philippines? Probably not.
Possible? I don't know. I think he was fairly white.
Or what was the final one?
Attila the Thriller.
That white.
Maybe his lineage is from Carthage.
Did he kill lots of people?
He might have done.
Yeah.
No, he's a basketball player, so probably.
Maybe
he's a big fan of Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and Attila also rhymes.
Yep. I do feel like this is one where it's all about the rhyme. Like, it doesn't really matter what the rest of it is. As long as it rhymes, just put it on.
The only one that makes sense is Vanilla Gorilla, so I'm going to go with that one.
You're going to go with Vanilla Gorilla? And you're right, of course you are. The rest are silly. Yes, he was known as the Vanilla Gorilla. Rightly so. Big lad, big old boy, and big long arms. So very like a gorilla.
Big gorilla arms.
Yeah. Give me that pen. Who passed me that pen? And I will mark you mercilessly.
Got your green pen out.
Yep. Tickaroo. That's good. 1 from 1. That's the first time in ages you've got the first question right. So that's good for you. Which of these was not a nickname of basketballer Darryl Dawkins? I apologise. Was it A, Chocolate Thunder? Is it B, the Patriot? Or is it C, Dr. Duncanstein?
Good at the dunking, was he?
Yes, I think so. Darryl Dawkins. I think he was
enough to get a doctorate in it.
Not sure. Maybe like just a bachelor's degree, but not a doctorate. He played in the sort of 70s, 80s sort of time. If that helps. He held the record for the most fouls in a season in 1983.
Good record.
Since been broken.
Paul Scholes.
Yeah, effectively Paul Scholes, yeah. Attacking player could not defend. That's basically what it is.
So, 2 of them are actual nicknames.
2 of them are true. 1 is fake.
So, it's the Chocolate Thunder.
Chocolate Thunder, the Patriot, or Dr. Duncanstein.
I'm going to say Dr. Duncanstein is not a real nickname.
You think that is fake?
Yeah.
You think that's the one that I have made up?
Yeah.
And you're wrong. That was a real nickname that I think he gave himself.
Can't do that.
Dr. Duncanstein. The fake one was the Patriot. I made that up because I thought it sounded like hawk, and the hawk is the national bird. And I've just realised that's not right, is it? The national bird's an eagle.
Eagle, innit?
Yeah, my logic was completely rubbish, but luckily you didn't even think of the logic. He played for the 76ers and the Nets for most of his actual career. He was nicknamed Chocolate Thunder by Stevie Wonder, who never saw him play because he was blind.
Yeah.
So he didn't even know he was black. Just
the sound of him.
He sounded like chocolate.
Maybe he smelled like chocolate.
Oh, that's true actually, yeah, maybe.
It sounded like thunder.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's very good. You look like... Wait, no. He also named the first backboard breaking dunk, and he named it the Chocolate Thunder Flying Robazine Crying Teeth Shaking Glass Breaking Rump Roasting Bun Toasting Wham Bam Glass Breaker I Am Jam.
Yep.
That's what he called it. So
just rolls off the tongue.
If you ever do one, if you ever break a backboard, remember what it's called. Remember to give credit where it's due. Okay, question 3. The NFL's Dick Night Train Lane was nicknamed such for what reason? Is it A, he was afraid of flying, so travelled to away games alone, usually on the train? Is it B, he was a huge model train enthusiast, attending conventions on off weeks? Or is it C, before playing football he had been homeless, riding the rails and sleeping on trains?
What was his full name again?
His name was Dick Lane, and he was called Dick Night Train Lane.
Night Train, not just any train.
No, Night Train. People mostly know him now as Night Train Lane. They don't know the Dick bit.
Yeah.
They took his dick away. Wait.
No, if it was just for owning model trains, I'm not sure they would have come up with Night Train Lane.
Maybe he only played with them in the evenings.
Because he was busy during the day.
Yeah, busy playing football. Getting hit.
So I think it's A or C.
Mm-hmm.
What was the first one?
He was afraid of flying, so travelled to away games alone, usually on the train.
I could see you getting lots of overnight trains.
Yeah, you probably would, wouldn't you?
Or he was homeless, so I don't think people would make that into a nickname, because that's like a...
I could tell you that he played in the 50s, I think. Oh, wait, I didn't actually write that down. But he played for the Chicago Cardinals and the Detroit Lions, I'm pretty sure in the 50s and 60s.
Right.
So
they might have taken the mick out of a homeless person.
Yeah, they took the mick out of a lot of things in those days.
I'm going to say A.
You think it's A, he was afraid of flying?
Yeah.
And you are right. That is correct. The other two are a bit silly, aren't they? It's quite hard coming up with ones for that. Yes, he was notably very afraid of flying, refused to ever get on a plane, even for massive games, long ways away. Although he did play for Chicago and Detroit, which are kind of central in the country. Yeah. So going either way was a long train ride, but at least manageable. He's the record holder still for the most rookie interceptions. The most interceptions in his rookie year, which a long time ago he did all this. His horrendous tackling was the reason that you now can't tackle by the face mask, because he used to do it all the time.
That's why he got so many interceptions. People just ran away from him.
It was his signature move to tackle people by the face mask. Apparently he made famous the Night Train necktie, which is effectively a clothesline tackle. Just clatter people in the neck and they go sitting down. And he was completely unrepentant. They were allowed in the game at the time, so that was why he did it. And that's why no Americans have brains anymore. He is the reason. While he wasn't homeless as an adult, Lane was abandoned in a dumpster at 3 months old and was adopted by his adopted mother. Wendy Lane, I think her name was.
So he didn't get anything in Dumpster Lane.
No, he might have done for a bit. He was also called Cue Ball Lane for a little while because he was playing pool in a pool hall and like betting, and the guy who he was playing against ran away and he chucked a cue ball at him and knocked him out.
Sounds something from a film.
Yeah, like his life does sound like a film. It's pretty crazy. Like in those days, they had like what was called the Negro League, like for just black players.
Yeah,
and white players played in a different league. It's crazy. Like it's crazy how recent that is in America.
Not that long ago.
Yeah, it's scary. But I guess that's true in football as well, isn't it? Like black players weren't really around in football in those days. Didn't have a big black population in those days, did we?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe.
Interesting how like looking back, it's not that long ago that all this stuff has changed. Interesting. Question 4. Ed Belfour, an NHL goaltender, was sometimes known by which name? Is it A, Eddie the Billionaire, B, Eddie Rich, or C, Broke Eddie?
Did you say NHL goaltender?
Yes, he was an NHL goaltender.
Eddie the Billionaire.
Yep.
Rich Eddie.
Eddie Rich.
Eddie Rich. Or
Broke Eddie.
Broke Eddie. So he either had lots of money or no money.
Yep.
And if he had no money, the first two could have been ironic.
Yes, that's true.
Rich Eddie the Rich.
And I guess if he was rich, like super rich, you could call him Broke Eddie.
Yeah.
And that would still be ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and nicknames quite often are, aren't they? So you can't really rule any of them out, is what you're trying to say.
Who did he goaltend for?
He was most famously known for goaltending for the Dallas Stars. That was where he won his Stanley Cup in 1999.
Oh, so he might have a bit of money. Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I don't know how well hockey players are paid. Not as well as the other sports, I don't think.
Probably not.
Don't show up on the Forbes list, do they, when we do that?
No, that's true. Any one of them.
Could be anyone.
Let's go the first one, Eddie the
Billionaire.
Yeah, because it's just a bit rubbish.
And you are right, it is. It's a bit rubbish, and it was his real name. It is the worst one, isn't it? Like Eddie Rich is like Buddy Rich. That's quite good. Broke Eddie, I mean, it would be ironic because he obviously wasn't broke. The name came from he was a notorious sort of drunkard and sort of party guy, despite being like one of the best goalkeepers ever. He's rated as like 4th best goalie ever in a lot of his the records, but he notorious salacious drunk. He was being escorted by police officers and offered them a $1 billion bribe to not take him to jail, and the name arose from there. So interesting life Ed Belfour had. But like immediately, as soon as he had a chance to be going to the Hall of Fame, they inducted him straight into the Hall of Fame, despite his like less than savoury. Well, I don't know about less than savoury, but he was definitely a crazy guy. Yeah. But I guess a lot of hockey players probably are. It's quite a tough sport.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
A lot of downtime. No, actually not that much downtime. They play a lot, don't they, in hockey? They play like every night.
Yeah.
Just get drunk. Maybe that's how they play. That's the only way that they can manage to play.
It's the only way they
games.
can stay up.
Yeah.
Equilibrium. From the slippery ice and being drunk.
Yeah. You just think it's just your feet. That's what your feet are like when you're drunk. Question 5. Sticking with hockey. NHL player Mats Zuccarello was called what by his supporters? Is it the Norwegian Hobbit Wizard, the Norse Viking Elf, or the Scandinavian Dwarf Warrior?
So he's from Scandinavia.
Maybe. He is. He is known as, or not known as, he is only the second Norwegian to ever play in the NHL postseason.
Wow.
They have him in the NHL. They do allow Norwegians in, but he's only the second one to have played in the postseason. And he's quite commonly known as the most successful Norwegian in the NHL ever.
So what would they call? You have to go to them again.
It's the Norwegian Hobbit Wizard, the Norse Viking Elf, or the Scandinavian Dwarf Warrior.
Oh. Is he particularly feisty? Does he do a lot of fighting?
I mean, he's a hockey player, so probably.
More so than other hockey players?
Don't know. Possibly. I imagine from any of these, maybe not the first one, but the rest Viking elf sounds like a person who would fight.
Yeah.
Actually, elves are kind of graceful, aren't they?
Yeah.
In Lord of the Rings. Dwarf warriors, they're going to be fighters.
Yeah, they're going to be
Hobbit
fighting.
wizards, that's going to be like Wayne Gretzky. Little guy,
Yeah.
amazing with the puck.
Yeah. I'm going to say they're probably not sure where he's from. They just know whereabouts.
Yeah.
So Scandinavian dwarf.
The European dwarf warrior. The not American. So you reckon the Scandinavian dwarf warrior?
Yeah.
You are wrong. It is the Norwegian Hobbit wizard, which is a great name. I think that's lovely.
Can't be both.
He's a hobbit and a wizard.
Yeah, there aren't any.
Maybe he's a hybrid. Maybe they intermingled.
They not watch Lord of the Rings.
He can't be both. He is only 5'7". Little Mats. Little bloke, little tiny bloke on tiny little tiny little skis. I was going to say, probably not on skis.
He's only a little bit short than me.
Yeah, tiny little bloke. He actually plays into the nickname quite frequently. Norwegians have quite a good sense of humour, I think.
Dresses up as Gandalf.
Yeah. When he left the Rangers. So he plays for the New York Rangers for a long time, and now he plays in like the lower leagues now. But when he left the New York Rangers, he did an Instagram post of him and another little guy from their team as like with their faces superimposed as hobbits, and saying he'd have to chase his ring alone now. Oh, I thought it was quite nice. So you got that one wrong. You are 3 from 5 though. You're going all right. Question 6: Denton True Young, the Major League Baseball's winningest ever pitcher.
Winningest ever.
Yeah, the most winningest he is. Had the moniker, or Cy, I think they pronounce it, but it's spelt C-Y, but it's pronounced Cy. For what reason? It was short for Cyclone, which was the description of his fastball. It was short for Cyanide, as he was seen as poison to batters. Or it was short for Cyclops, because he had to wear an eye patch when he was a child.
Surely not.
I can tell you he played from 1890 to 1910. So things were a bit different back then.
Hey, Cyclops.
Oh, he's Cyclops. Check us a ball, if you can see.
Catch this.
Just don't go on the wrong side of him.
Surely not. They wouldn't have known what Cyclops was until X-Men came out.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Actually, that's the only reason I know.
Yeah. Cyanide or Cyclone.
Mm-hmm.
Cyanide. I'm gonna say A, Cyclone.
You think it was A, short for Cyclone?
Yeah.
And you were right. That is right. Apparently, he grew up on a farm, and he used to like throw his fastball at a fence.
Yeah.
And just broke all the fence panels.
Nice.
And people looked at it and thought, "Oh, is there a cyclone come through here?" And that was why he got his name.
That's cool.
And now no one knows his real name. No one calls him Denton True, which no one would anyway. What a terrible name that is. He's just known as Cy Young. He played in the 1890s to the 1910s, which is a long time. Do you want to hear some of the names of the teams that he played for?
Go on then.
He played for the Cleveland Spiders.
Shit Spiders.
Yeah, the Cleveland Shit Spiders. Played for the St. Louis Perfectos. The Boston Americans.
Perfecto!
Did you have some weird names, don't they? And NBL teams, MLB teams. He played for the Cleveland Naps, which I assume just means they had to sleep all the time. Oh, I'm so tired. Just leave me alone. Just have a little nap. Just a little nap.
Maybe,
we lost.
Well, yeah, maybe it's because the fans are just always asleep.
And sleeping in the crowd. That's good.
That makes you a napper. If you watch the
if you're
Cleveland
a Cleveland fan, you're a napper.
You're a napper.
And you just sleep all the time. And his last team were the Boston Rustlers. That's some great names back in the day, didn't they?
Rustling my balls.
Stop rustling our baseball bats. Cy Young still holds some of the MLB records, despite having played over 100 years ago now. He holds the records for the most wins still. The most innings pitched in. Do you want to guess how many innings he pitched in? I'll tell you, he won 511 games.
Hold on.
Yeah, so there's 9 innings in a game, isn't there? Baseball.
Yeah. 100 games a season.
Yeah. Don't know if there was in those days.
20 seasons.
Yeah.
20,000 innings.
Not quite. It was 7,356 innings, which is still a lot. And no one has ever broken that, or I don't think even got close.
Yeah.
You got the record for the most games started and complete games, which I guess you would if you got the record for the most innings pitched, wouldn't you? Impressive, though, isn't it? To still have all those records to this day in a time when records generally fall as time goes on. His records don't look like they're going to. Question 7. Which of these nicknames was never applied to lovely old Ashley Giles, the cricket man, who's now, what is he, like director of cricket, I think, for England? Impressive man these days, but was he called the Wheelie Bin, the King of Spain, or Happy Dog?
So which one wasn't?
Yes, which of those was he never called?
Wheelie Bin.
The Wheelie Bin.
His head looks like a wheelie bin.
Like Canadian out of South Park, just flapping heads.
So I'm going to say wheelie bin was one of them.
Yeah?
Yeah. I want it to be true. Happy Dog. Was he that happy playing? Was he happy just to be out of the house?
I think he was known as quite a jovial person around this thing. I don't know if he was particularly happy on the pitch always, though.
Maybe he's just happy to be out of the house.
Yeah.
Is he called Happy Dog? What was the middle one?
The King of Spain.
King of Spain, as opposed to the King of Spin. Because he wasn't very good.
No, he was not. He was good though, wasn't he? He was in that 2005 team that won the Ashes, but I think he was kind of not reviled, but not loved before that.
No. King of Spain. What did they do in Spain that would make him king?
They don't really play cricket in Spain, do they?
No. Oh, but why would you make that up? Why would you make King of Spain up? If you've made up the wheelie bin. Oh, yeah, wheelie bin.
I was walking home when there's wheelie bins everywhere. Oh, wheelie bin.
Oh, there's a Happy Dog.
Oh, there's a King of Spain over there.
I'm going to go Happy Dog.
You think that one was fake?
Yeah.
I made up Happy Dog.
You saw a Happy Dog on your way home.
I did. He was such a happy dog. He was never called Happy Dog. That's a silly nickname. But he was called Wheelie Bin and King of Spain. He was called the Wheelie Bin by Henry Blofeld, who used to be on TMS, because he said that Ashley Giles had quite a rolling gait. He kind of rolled up to the wicket and just rolled his arm over, and that somehow is like a wheelie bin according to Blowers. Blowers quite colourful with his, not colourful, flowery with his language. I think that's a great name, personally, the wheelie bin. Ashley Giles not a big fan of that name.
He wasn't.
Real pissed about it.
Because he thought it was because he was trash.
Yeah, and I think there was an implication that he was. That was part of it, I think. He was also called the King of Spain because Warwickshire, his county, ordered 1,000 mugs that said Ashley Giles, King of Spin on them. And they got misprinted. And it came back with King of Spain. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, I love that story. It's one of my favourite stories.
That's excellent.
Love the King of Spain. So, you're doing well. You got 5 out of 7.
That's not bad, is it?
This is the last question coming up, and it's a football question, so you might even know it. Which of these footballing nicknames is not correct, or is not real even? Is it One Size Fits All? Is it Michael Haunted Manchien? Or is it Billy No Mahits? Or Mates? Don't know how you say that one.
Who did he play for?
Billy No Mahits?
Yeah.
I don't know. Couldn't find out. I don't know who any of these played for, I'm afraid. They're just names that I found.
Go through them again one more time.
It's One Size Fits All. So Fits Hall was his name, and One Size was his nickname.
That's good. That's quite clever.
It's Michael Haunted Manchien.
Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. Or Billy No Mahits. Mahits. It's spelled Mehitz.
B. Mansion.
That you think that was the not real one?
Yeah.
Trying to pick the not real one.
Yeah.
You think I made up Michael Haunted Mansion?
Yeah.
You're wrong. That one's real. He played for Chelsea. I didn't know who they played for. I just couldn't think of a club off the top of my head. Because Billy No Mates was made up. I made him up. He was not real.
I like one size fits all.
One size fits all
That's
was the
very
best
clever.
one, isn't it? What a name, Fitzhall. I thought that one was a joke. I didn't think it could possibly be real, but he did apparently play for Palace, Wigan, QPR, and Watford. He was a journeyman. One size fits all for all teams, I suppose.
Yeah.
And you got then 5 out of 8.
I'll take that.
I'll nickname you not bad.
Average.
Average Joe.
Is he a Swedish Dune or it's really been his shame? Well, let's find out in our city game. Where there's a name, there's a claim.